Alright guys, so I'm going to do a video discussing the co-main event for UFC 308, which is next weekend. Considering I just did a video on the main event, I know it wasn't like an official prediction, but it was Holloway Topuria saying why Max might win that, and that video got hella views, like 1,700 views, I think. So I didn't expect it to do. I didn't expect it to do as well as it did. So thank you guys for the support and for the motivation. It's keeping me going. Wouldn't be here without you guys. But now, without further ado, and also, not to mention, I'm almost at 1K again. So help a brother out. Do me a favor before I get on with this prediction and this fight. You know what to do. Click on that subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and yeah, let's talk about Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev if Khamzat can make it to the fight. But I think what day is it right now? It's the 18th of October. We're 8 days away. I think Chimaev can make it. Well, damn, last time Chimaev pulled out, I believe it was like, we were like, I think 8 days away from the last fight. I think he pulled out like June 14th this year, and they were supposed to fight June 22nd. But fingers crossed, knock on wood, Chimaev makes it. But if he does make it to the fight, and this fight does happen, tell me why I have a feeling that, and this prediction is going to be solely gut based. I'm going to just trust my gut, even if it doesn't hit. I don't care. Forget the whole technical aspect of everything. Because a lot of these predictions, whenever I do not trust my gut, they end up true. But when I trust my gut, sometimes I jinx it, but I don't care. Maybe jinxing it will be the best thing ever for the viewers of this video, since I'm sure most of you are like Whittaker fanboys anyway, and most people don't like Chimaev, because I know we're all kind of sick of him for being inactive and pulling out, being unreliable. Makes sense, and Whittaker is a fan favorite, but I have a bad feeling that Khamzat Chimaev is going to submit Robert Whittaker within the first round. If not, maybe chin Robert Whittaker inside the first or second round. But I think he's going to win by sub. I think Robert Whittaker is going to get finished by Khamzat Chimaev. I think Robert Whittaker is in a lot of trouble in this matchup. He's never fought anyone like Khamzat Chimaev before. Now you can argue, well, DJC, who has Khamzat fought on Whittaker's level? I mean, okay, Gilbert Burns, that win didn't age well. The Usman fight, Usman didn't really fight since, so we can't really judge how well that win aged or not. But Usman was a high level win. Kamaru Usman is a better wrestler than Robert Whittaker is on an offensive and a defensive level. No one, and I mean no one, has big brothered Kamaru Usman in the octagon like this. Look at this. I can't play the footage because I can't risk, getting copyright struck and in trouble. Who does this to Kamaru Usman? Let me see if I can kind of fast forward through without playing the clip. I mean, just look at this. Look at this. He's on his back, just dominating Kamaru Usman, dominating him. And if I'm not mistaken, Khamzat Chimaev took down Kamaru Usman how many times in that fight? I can look it up. How many times did he take him down? Usman versus Chimaev. Let's look at the stats. How many takedowns did he get? 4 out of 12 takedowns. He's the only man to take down Kamaru Usman more than once in a single fight. Everyone else who's tried to take Usman down failed, and Leon Edwards got one fluke takedown that he can never get ever again. Chimaev got 4. So let's just establish that this guy Chimaev can take down Robert Whittaker, and he will take down Robert Whittaker. It is inevitable, okay? And I understand that Robert Whittaker stuffed multiple takedowns of an Olympic gold medalist, or was Yoel an Olympic gold medalist? You can let me know in the comment section down below. But Yoel was in the Olympics. He's an Olympic level wrestler. Robert Whittaker showed great anti-wrestling against him and shut out all of Jacare's takedowns. But Jacare's wrestling is nowhere near the level of a Chimaev, Marvin Vettori's wrestling is nowhere near the level of a Khamzat Chimaev. And Yoel Romero's wrestling never translated well to MMA. I mean, Yoel Romero couldn't take down Israel Adesanya. Well, he did, couldn't hold him down. other grapplers have been able to take down Izzy and hold him down for more than like 2 seconds. So, and Dricus du Plessis is a better grappler than Yoel Romero with better ground control. And speaking of Dricus du Plessis, look what DDP did to Robert Whittaker. Okay, Robert Whittaker showed in this fight he can get big brothered, he can get bullied around, and he can be mauled. He can be destroyed on the ground. I mean, look at this. I can't risk playing the footage, but look at this. Let me just go through these little reels. He's getting smashed by elbows. His face is bloodied up. Look, his face is a bloody mess. Look at him. Dricus du Plessis holding him down, cutting him up with elbows. This is what Chimaev does to people. Chimaev is just as much of a physical bully as DDP, if not more. I think he might be stronger than Dricus, and he is 100% a better wrestler than Dricus du Plessis. And look what Dricus does on the ground with Whittaker. Whenever Whittaker tried to get back to his feet, Dricus du Plessis was threatening with the Darce choke. Now I can't get a good shot. I can't get a good still shot of him going for the Darce, but you could see every time Whittaker tried to posture up, every time he tried to sweep back to his feet, du Plessis would threaten that Darce choke. So he couldn't get up. He had to stay on the ground and eat elbows. It's either get up and risk getting Darced or stay on my back and eat elbows. Pick your poison. But I think in this fight, Robert Whittaker is going to pick his poison and he's going to choose getting subbed. That's what I feel is going to happen in this fight. I just see my detailed prediction of this fight is I think Khamzat's going to come out like a bat out of hell in the first round, like he always does, and he's going to immediately shoot on Whittaker's legs. And okay, the speed of Khamzat's shots are just terrifying. The speed in which he shoots that double leg, it's crazy. He's fast with it, and he's fast with his double leg to the upper body lock transition. It's like he'll go for a double leg, and if you defend the initial shot, he's already on your back, dragging you to your knees, like he did to Usman, like he did to Li Jingliang, and then quickly got to Li Jingliang's back, which is absolutely crazy he did that to Li Jingliang. Did something similar to Kevin Holland, I believe, and actually, I think this fight is going to end very similar to the Kevin Holland fight. I have a feeling that Khamzat Chimaev is going to go out there. He's going to shoot for a takedown against Whittaker. Whittaker is going to defend the initial shot. Chimaev is then going to scramble around the back of Whittaker. He's going to get the rear body lock, and he's going to throw Whittaker on all fours. Whittaker's going to roll around with Chimaev on his back. He's going to try to do what he did with Yoel Romero in that first fight where he tried to sit down when Romero had the rear body lock. But that's not going to work with someone like Chimaev. I don't see him breaking Chimaev's grip like that. But eventually, I don't know. He might break the grip, actually. I'm contradicting myself. But then what's going to happen is, what I see happening, what I picture happening, is Whittaker is going to be against the cage trying to stand up. Chimaev is going to get the front headlock against Whittaker. And then he's going to immediately lock on a Darce choke. And Whittaker's going to try his best to fight it off. The commentators are going to go crazy, like, oh my gosh, he's got Robert Whittaker in this tight sub attempt. And then what's going to happen is I think Whittaker is actually going to tap. I think it's going to be so tight because Chimaev has a tight squeeze. I don't think Whittaker's getting out. And I think he's getting choked out. That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to happen inside round one. And people aren't going to be happy. Fans are going to be very upset when this happens. I don't really want it to happen, well, I kind of do because it's better for the division. I would rather see Chimaev versus DDP as opposed to Whittaker versus DDP 2. Chimaev DDP is way more interesting. That's like a Clash of the Titans type of fight if you ask me. Whereas Whittaker DDP, I mean, Robert can always make the adjustments to make it interesting, but I think Dricus du Plessis, too tough, too powerful. Whittaker's too chinny. Dricus will just get him again, but in the later rounds this time. At least with Chimaev, he can go out there and threaten Dricus with his superior wrestling skills, and he might actually be able to finish Dricus on the ground. Now, what does worry me about this prediction is if this fight goes anywhere past the second or the first or second round, then I think Robert Whittaker is going to win. Okay, because we know history shows when Chimaev cannot get a finish against a high-level opponent, he struggles. He does not look good after the first 2 rounds. Burns showed that. Usman showed that. Even though he did win the third round against Gilbert Burns, it was the second round where he wasn't looking good, where he got humanized. And even in round 3 where he won, he was struggling. Usman was piecing him up in round 2 and in round 3. I thought Usman should have won rounds 2 and 3 and that the fight was a draw because the first round was a 10-8. But the judges didn't give it to Usman round 2 because I guess he wasn't active enough and gave up a takedown towards the end. But yeah, if Whittaker can survive and make it into round 2 and 3, considering this is like a 5-round fight as well, if Whittaker can drag him into deep waters, Chimaev is cooked, and he's probably going to get TKO'd. Whittaker will probably get his first stoppage, or not his first stoppage, his second stoppage in the calendar year 2024. But I don't know, man. I just see the vision. I see the vision, and I visualize when I picture this fight. I visualize Chimaev choking him out with a darts choke as Whittaker is trying to stand back up. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Am I off? I probably am. I will do a full main card prediction video coming to you likely Sunday or Monday, probably Monday, the beginning of fight week. I'll do a prediction video for UFC 308 as a whole, but I just had to get my prediction out here for the co-main event. And yeah, peace. See you then.